book. The fifth book. Thank you. And just gonna. This is the most interesting part of the podcast where I don't know if we're actually live yet. It's my favorite part. Aha, we're live. All right. Thank you so much for coming to the Social Otaku. This is going to be just kind of an impromptu podcast. We won't have a set schedule for the Social Otaku for now. But right now it is me and Sierra.
Hello.
And today we will be talking about, well, we'll at least start with the quarantine and mental health, because I know for me that's been a little bit of a struggle, and I know for you that's been a little bit of a struggle, just having to be cooped up all the time.
Let me out. I can't.
It does, yeah, it gets to you.
Let me out, please.
So yeah, that is one of the things that we'll be struggling with, as well as the stress of leaving quarantine when this all blows over and we can go outside and we can be in crowded areas. It's going to be a little tough adjusting to that. So we'll cover kind of a little bit of what we've gone through, and maybe some tips on how you can make sure that you're okay.
How not to have an anxiety attack in the middle of a grocery store.
Yeah, that's always important. See, for me, it's state control, but I've been cooped up so long that I actually had Sierra here kind of remind me of my state control by just kind of tapping me on the back and go, shoulders. Because I do state control with posture and physiology, which that's a whole nother video I'll get into sometime. But yeah, how do we want to start?
No, I have no clue. There's so much. There's so much about it.
Well, first and foremost, I feel like a lot of people are finally now noticing that introverts need social time too. And I don't think a lot of people acknowledge that. I've seen a lot of very pretentious people online talk about, excuse me, I'm an ambivert. And I know that they're obnoxious because I was one of those people at one point, because I am an outgoing introvert, and there are a whole bunch of different labels that people just throw into ambivert. So let's start there. What's an introvert? What's an extrovert? How can you tell which one you are? And what that means for you, because introverts do need social time and extroverts do need alone time. So, I just want to... Have I ever told you the definition that I go off of for extrovert and introvert? It's pretty simple. It's basically just, which scenario do you gain more energy from?
Introvert. I'm an introvert. Mm-hmm. I'm 100%.
Yeah, so if you gain energy, like if you rejuvenate yourself by your alone time or just with a close friend or significant other, and that's the only or the main way that you can rejuvenate your energy, you're an introvert. If you get energy by going to parties, if you gain energy by just being in a bigger social situation or talking with a bunch of friends, things like that, that is an extrovert.
Okay, well, all right, let me take what I said back.
Okay.
Like, I'm introverted, but when it comes to, like, I'm a merch girl for a band that we've mentioned before in the last podcast. I love being around that group of people. The music scene is something that I'm comfortable with, so if I'm socializing in crowded areas, like, in different venues, I'm happy. I'm very more extroverted. But when I come home, I'm drained because I'm still introverted, because right. I can put I'm extroverted when I choose to be. But it does, really like drain me.
Right, and that's why I wanted to touch on this, because some people would just lump you into the ambivert category, just like they lump me into the ambivert category. And ambivert is a term that people use when they say, well, I could go either way. But as you were just talking that out, you realize, no, I'm still an introvert, but in some situations, I get really energized by these particular crowds.
Yeah.
And that will happen. You are an introvert. However, you found healthy ways to get yourself into social situations. Because just because you're an introvert doesn't mean it's healthy to stay alone. Just because you're an extrovert doesn't mean it's healthy to not have enough alone time. You need both. And the people who get lumped into the ambivert category, to me, are really just the people who kind of at least partially figured out a healthier way to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So that is one thing you need to keep into at least the back of your head. If you're an introvert and you're closed in during this quarantine, FaceTime with people, get on Discord, which we have a Discord, people talking there, people joking there. It's a great community. I want it to be a community for everyone. So please, if you haven't already and you're watching this podcast, please join. The link is in the description below, and we'd love to have you. And we can talk. We can socialize, get something.
Yeah, and you can also message us too as well. You can message me. I did do a post on the Facebook group that we were going to talk about this, and that it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to kind of be in a funk, and that if you ever need any of us, just reach out. You can reach out on my YouTube. You can reach out to my personal page on Facebook, and eventually, if you want to reach me out to like personal text message, I will totally text you.
Yeah, I think the just a little blurb popped into my head just now. And I almost lost it. Hang on, brain fart. It's okay to be in a bad state of mind. It's not okay to stay in it. It is okay to feel the way that you feel, but once you know that it's not the way you need to be feeling or want to be feeling, change it.
Yeah, and that's what I've had to learn. Like, the more when you're in your thoughts, the more it's just you need to like go out, take a walk, 6 feet apart. Okay, we need to remember that. Like, I'm going to mention this so no one comes back to this YouTube channel and says, why weren't you 6 feet apart? Well, the Social Otaku didn't mention it. But no, 6 feet apart, please. And if you're with your significant other, ask for it. Hold their hand. Different states require you to wear a mask. Wear a mask, or even reach out to people who are making. I know a lot of people are making them. I had a friend who made mine and Josh's.
Yeah.
He's got a skull and crossbone, and I have a Nebula Galaxy one.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good. They're really good. Just not in this heat. It's really hot out here, and
got up to a 97 Fahrenheit today, and that was not fun. Not fun at all.
So I guess on the topic of just not being okay, I know during this whole thing, the last, I'd say month now, there's, people are now getting laid off, and some people are losing their jobs. Some people are trying to find jobs. I know me especially. I was laid off from my job last month and gained a job about last week. Worked at for a day and just did not work out. And so I got a different job that's now essential, and I'm going to go back out there. And I kind of tested the waters of just going out in public, and I'm being safe. Oh, hello, King.
Glad you could join us today. Doesn't look like we have a big turnout, but that's perfectly fine. This will be on YouTube afterwards, so we'll just keep talking about our whole mental health bit. One thing I do want to mention just really quick is find ways to go outside and walk for at least 20 to 30 minutes and that is a minimum, walk for at least 20 to 30 minutes a day, because you do need sunlight. You will get, there's something called seasonal affective disorder. And
seasonal depression. I know this for a fact. I grew up in Oregon. A lot of times in the Northwest, that's something that those people suffer with for a fact.
Oh, yeah.
Because it'll rain, like, usually in the fall, starting, I would say, October up until right now, April and May. It could rain from like October through December. The first time I moved to Oregon, it rained 2 months straight, from October to December almost. And when the sun's out, everyone's out. Everyone's trying to like get that sunlight.
Yep, it is very, very important to get sunlight. It's also very important to get moving and get exercising in some way, shape, or form, because it does give you endorphins. It decreases your cortisol, which, as everyone should remember, cortisol is your stress hormone. The more cortisol you have, the more stressed out you are, the more endorphins and the more serotonin you have, the more happy and relaxed you are. And just going for a walk outside for a little bit every day, even staying away from other people, that will really, really help. So, that was that little blurb, and now I don't know that I have anything left to say on that. Maybe should have prepared a little bit more, but you know what? I don't care. There are things I care about. This is not one of them. So is there anything else about staying alone that you think we haven't talked about or haven't at least touched on?
Keep your hands busy. Yes. Crafting, reading a book, video games, and like you said with video chat, there's Zoom. I know there's a bunch of other video chats. I know there's one where you can play games and you can draw and do like charades and stuff like that. Yeah,
there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I know a lot of people on our Discord use some of those like party game online things. Yeah, so you can always find ways of doing stuff like that. What I will say is, when you are sitting, like even if you're sitting and talking to someone, again, this goes back to the state control that I kind of got out of the habit of dealing with. So keep in mind that your posture does very much affect your mood. So as much as possible, just like I have on my Gaining Confidence in 2 Easy Steps video on YouTube, you want your back straight and your shoulders back. If you don't, and especially if you slouch for a long time, or if you're just kind of nestled into, like just kind of slumped into your chair or your bed or something like that, that can really over time give you kind of a increase. And you got to make sure you're catching yourself when you do that, because that's something I accidentally got in the habit of doing. And then I was really out of it for, you can attest, a few days at a time.
Yeah.
So I am making more of an effort to get back into better posture, but it really makes a bigger difference than you think. You really gotta, even if you don't stand up straight all the time, at least catch yourself when you're slouching. At least keep it in the back of your mind, and that way you can help yourself feel a little better.
That'll help.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of people, especially if you're either living alone, living with a significant other. I've experienced this through text message. I have group chats with my friends, and a lot of them now have to work from home, or significant others have been laid off of work, and some have children, and a lot of, now it's the time where everyone is just together 24/7, 7 days a week, and it's starting to actually get to people. Arguments are happening more. Everyone is depressed. It's kind of, the mood is really just gray.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It is, and honestly, I think what needs to happen is if we can get more people when you're at the grocery store, when you're out for a brief walk, yes, stay 6 feet apart from each other. But if you can be in a good mood, if you can be in a good state of mind, if you can have good posture and be relaxed, just that alone can help other people feel validated in just trying to relax. The more people we get out there in a good headspace, the more that's going to be just so very infectious.
Yeah, of course. Like today we went grocery shopping, and you can tell just the mood from, store employees. Me being a former retail employee for so many years, I would come home drained of yelling and everything. I can't imagine right now what they have to go through, and I see it every day when we're shopping, and it angers me just coming from being on the other side of that. I'm just like, it's beyond their control. Sometimes there's nothing that they can do. And we just need to kind of, just say thank you, be nice to them, smile. It'll help. So that'll help.
So, yeah, Sorry, I just brain fart again. It's been a long day. So I do know we have at least a couple people watching. Feel free, by the way, if you have any questions about this time during quarantine, whether that's mental health, getting a job, what have you, we are looking at the comments. We will answer you. So feel free to pop in with any questions. But that is something that's on people's minds, and we did mention maybe talking about it during the stream was like getting a job, losing a job, things like that. At this time, businesses are struggling, individuals are struggling, so it might happen. If you have a job, there's always a possibility that that job could be lost during this quarantine. So, first and foremost, it's okay. You lost your job. It sucks. It does happen. And that is happening to a lot of people, I think.
And you're going to have that period of time, because I did too. You're like, oh my God, like everything's just, everything's happening.
Yeah.
Like it just crashes at once, like, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do this? How am I going to eat? And you just have to take a deep breath, figure out what you have, what your finances are, and just start looking immediately. There's so many places, a lot of retail places, and I know that comes, across a lot of people's mind, like, oh, I don't want to do the essential work, or I've never done it. There's a lot of people that are out there that, this is temporary. Get into something that could help you get your finances back on track, help you put food on the table. It will help. And then once this is over, or if you keep even looking for jobs too while you're working, if you, just like what I did, if you find something that's better, take it.
Yeah, absolutely. King Style is asking, I almost always get into arguments with my family. What do I need to do? That can be rough, because I'm sure you've heard the phrase, it takes two to tango. So getting out of arguments while you're cooped up in quarantine is going to require everyone to at least try to do something about it. One thing would be, if you can get outside and walk a little bit more, that'll help your headspace. That's what I was going to say,
yeah. Because I used to get in arguments with my parents when I lived with them for the longest time, and a lot of times if I was just in the vicinity of both of them while they were arguing, I would get dragged into it. So I would just, if I heard them argue, or if there's their body language, or I can tell that something's going to happen, I usually just go for a walk, go in my room, even clean. A lot of times, like, cleaning helped me too. I have anxiety, so I tend to clean a lot, and it helps me take my mind off a lot of things. But I think walking around, listening to music helps a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I would say, just like you said, if you can notice the body language and it's seeming tense, or the body language is seeming just anxious, tense, stressed, just any of those, I would find a way to leave for a little bit, get yourself in a good state of mind, and then come back. And as much as we've been saying, you got to make sure you talk to people, when you're cooped up in a house with the same people all the time, you don't always want to talk to those same people. So it's okay to not talk to them for a little while, and maybe, once again, go on our Discord, talk to other people there, find people you can go on FaceTime or Skype with. Find different ways that you can talk to more than a few different people. I mean, hell, just go online on a video game if it has an online option. Play with people through voice chat, and that, to me, that's very cooperative. It may not be in person.
PlayStation 4, Xbox Live. With my friends who are in quarantine out of state, we've just been doing update from the last podcast. Animal Crossing. It's going really well. So I usually just kind of gather with my friends who have Animal Crossing, and it just takes my mind off everything that's going on outside, and it just feels peaceful. And we'll just talk on there and video chat a lot of my friends, making sure that I can get a hold of them and update if they need anything. I reach out. Been reaching out to my parents too, because worry about them all the time.
Yeah, it's only natural. You worry about your family, you worry about your friends.
And like, even Josh and I have been, like, we can say it, since this has happened, we've gotten into a couple arguments. Yeah,
I wouldn't say fights, but...
No, yeah. Yeah. But at the same time, because we've been together, we've almost 5 months, so we're starting to learn each other on what to do. So if we ever got into an argument or if something was brewing up more than it should, we know that we can go outside, we can have a timeout, split from each other, and then come back. Like a 30-minute, for me it'd be like a 30-minute to an hour timeout, and then check back in on each other, kind of thing. So that always helps. Yeah. I like it. But yeah, so far we haven't fought. I'm going to knock on this table a little bit.
It's not wood, but,
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Knock on plastic.
Also, I know there's like that whole... what I'm trying to say here. When you're cooped up, this is for the ladies, really, because I hear about, like, when you have a mental breakdown, you gotta dye your hair or cut your hair.
Oh my god.
Do whatever you want. Yeah. For me, it's do whatever you want. You want to cut your bangs? Go for it. You want to cut your hair? Go for it. You want to shave your head bald? I support it. I don't care. I got to the point where I was getting so cooped up, and we went shopping, and I grabbed some hair dye, and I was like, screw it, let's do this. But there's times where I look at a big bottle of bleach, and I'm like, no, don't do it. But just do whatever gets your mind off of things. So if you want to cut your hair, you want to dye your hair, you want to just do something crazy.
I mean, it's the best time to do it. You don't have to go outside.
Yeah, and there's places that are like, there's certain beauty places that are doing like curbside pickup, and a lot of retail places are doing curbside pickup. So just check your local town and check your local stores, and like even craft stores are doing curbside pickup. If you want to pick up some art supplies, colored pencils, draw. You want to pick up some new electronics, some new games, movies. You want to get that new TV while you're in quarantine? Go get that new TV.
Yeah. Just make sure you don't break your bank.
Treat yourself with your stimulus check. That's what I'm telling everybody. Yeah. Just treat yourself. But be smart about it. But if you have bills, like, put it towards that. You need groceries, put it towards that.
Yeah.
But if you got money to spend, treat yourself.
And just a follow-up on King's first question. He says, this person does not like to talk in the moment. I'm always blamed for everything. Basically, yeah. If you can start to read when this person is in a state where he or she would be blaming you for things, or he or she would be wanting to get into... Because this is really possibly not as much of the blame game as much as it is wanting to argue.
To me, because that's happened to me before, that is a argument starter.
Yeah.
When you start getting blamed, you're pretty much just getting dragged into the argument starting.
Oh, hey, Colin.
Hey, cutie. Oh, goodness gracious.
For those of you who don't know, Colin is my best friend. I'm glad he has joined the stream. Yes, please and thank you. We are having a good time.
Good time.
But yeah, what I would say is find ways of knowing when he or she is at their peak or at their most argumentative, and take that time to go to your room, go outside, get out of the situation before it happens. If you can find ways to predict when it's going to happen, go somewhere else. That's probably the best way to work through that, at least for the time being. If they can somehow get into a better mood or a better state, and you personally have the ability to make that change happen, try. If you can't, just get yourself out of the situation as much as you can.
Yeah, because you can only do so much. It has to take them, like you said, it takes two to tango, basically. You have to let them figure out what to do to help them calm down. But if you've done everything you can, then that's my suggestion. Yeah.
All right, so that's that.
We're going to talk about things for us that we've kept us occupied through the quarantine. Yeah. TikTok.
Oh yeah, TikTok. Just like I said last time, I did get myself a TikTok. I meant to make little TikToks. Some would be funny, some would be just quick little tips and tricks on mental health, charisma, stuff like that. But I haven't gotten around to it. But I will. I'll be watching more TikToks. I'll be doing more TikToks because, yes, I understand TikTok is cancer, but that was because of the Zoomers. And now the millennials have started taking over, and we're turning it back into Vine, as it should have been.
The OG Viners are coming back, and it just makes me happy.
It's becoming Vine, which is what I was hoping for. So let's just keep making good content on there, and maybe that'll help.
And even other generations are on there, and it's very wholesome, and it makes me happy.
So, yeah, just like always, it's Josh in the show. While we're talking about, ways to keep yourself stressed, ways to help with things, I will say that we did finally get a sponsor. If you haven't been on the Discord, you may not know this yet. But we do finally have our very first sponsor. Actually, technically we have two sponsors because Anchor is also our sponsor. So we are putting the podcast out there as audio on things like Spotify, Apple Music, things like that. And the audio podcasts are sponsored by Anchor. That sponsorship already has a pre-recorded sponsorship message in it. But we do have another sponsor, which is Rep Sports. Rep Sports is kind of exactly what it sounds like. It's a sports health company. So they make energy drinks, they make sleep aids, they make protein powder, make all kinds of stuff. They do also make a stress reliever. It comes in the form of pills. There are 90 pills in a bottle, and it's only $25. And before I just go on and say, hey, go look at our sponsor for sponsorship, I will say that I have done my research. Before recommending this to you, I went and I did research on the ingredients that are in this thing, and it is one ingredient. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I can probably look it up later. Put it in the comments or something on YouTube. But what I will say is I do want to give a disclaimer. So they do have, I think it's Hang on, I'm going to look it up again.
He looks like Mr. Hoodie. Hello. Hello and welcome.
Thanks for joining us, Hoodie. Okay, phenibut. Phenibut is the chemical that is in there. Phenibut is a very, very strong stress reliever. Now, they do have it at the smallest possible dose, so you can safely take 2 pills at a time. But I would say be very, very careful. Don't take it with alcohol. Don't take it with any kind of depressant or sedative, because it is very strong. It is a very, very strong thing. So if you do go to repsports.com and try this out, make sure you follow their instructions. They are there for a reason.
Read the description. Make sure that you know what the ingredients are. And if it tells you that you can't take this if you're on certain medications, or read before you purchase.
Yes, absolutely. But that being said, it does look like it is very effective. The effects last for about 10 to 16 hours. So once you've found the proper dose for you, if you feel like, oh no, I'm gonna have another anxiety episode, or I'm getting this depression, if you want to boost that mental health that day and you know your proper dosage, that's 10 to 16 hours. You're basically set for the entire day. And again, it's only $25 for 90 of the capsules. So if you use the discount code, which I do have in the description, by the way, if you want a reminder, use discount code JoshInTheShell at repsports.com, and you can get 15% off the stress reliever. You can get it off the sleep aid. You can get it off the protein powder, the energy drinks. So just take a look for yourself. So with that little sponsorship blurb out of the way, Sierra did tell me to make a script for it earlier, and I did not. So
it's okay. You did a really good job. You really did. You're doing your best.
Thank you. But yeah, so of course, all the people in my Discord know that I relentlessly research things, because
even I know that.
Yeah, I have a condition. It's called researchitis. I have inflammation of the research.
That's why I let you I was just like, hey, can you look this up for me before I get this? Or anything. It's like, this looks shady. I need you to help me.
Yeah, so with all of that, I think that basically covers just being alone and dealing with too much alone time, dealing with your social interactions. Because the better shape you're in during quarantine, the better shape you will be once quarantine is over. So would we rather talk about what to do once quarantine is over, or would we rather talk about getting jobs now or later?
Beer. Tattoos. Going to the gym, because sometimes walking does not help me. And I have gained just a little bit of weight, and I would like to fit into my clothes again. But I got a new job, so hopefully that's going to kick me in gear.
Yeah, hopefully.
My birthday's coming up in June. I would like to have some kind of party before, quarantine. I just want summer.
Yeah.
A lot of times I don't, because it's too hot and ill. I can't stand it. It's just... Let's see, what else? Halloween. I don't want I'm talking throughout the year. Josh and I were talking about how we really hope that Halloween's not canceled, because I might cry. I might cry a little.
Halloween is the best holiday.
Yes, and my parents got married on Halloween.
Yep, that's right.
Yep, they got married on Halloween. Halloween's very special to me. I love it. And then, the band that I work for is having an album release show in October. So October is a big moment for me, especially, and now for Josh, because he's part of the gang now.
gang.
He's part of the gang, so he gets to experience the metal scene. So far, you've been taking it very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, even the people who get drunk and mosh and push you, and it's just, you done well.
There were almost blows thrown, but it's okay. We left.
Yeah, there was almost some fights, but we handled it. Yeah. We handled everything. Oh, we should tell them what we might do for Halloween if this happens. So Josh and I, we wanted to go down like a busy street where we live, and we wanted to go to hit up bars and stuff, but we wanted to be dressed in very old clothes. We want to be an older lady and you to be an older man. And if a lot of people don't know this about me, I do makeup. I'm going to school for cosmetology, but on the side I do special effects makeup. I wanted to do like the latex of the wrinkles, the face, and the whole thing. And I was going to be in a wheelchair or a walker and be pushed around town and compliment all of the people on their costumes in just a little old lady voice. And also give a coat to girls who are pretty much half naked. And just go like... I had so many scripts on doing it too.
Are you making sure you're staying hydrated?
Just like, oh, you can't wear that. It's too cold out here.
Oh, and
did you pack a sweater?
King style, just to answer your question, I am kind of tired. I will try to be on there for a little bit, but I can't make any promises right now. Because like I said earlier, it has been a bit of a long day, so we'll see how we feel at the end of the podcast. And for now, at least, let's keep going. Yeah. I think we certainly have more to talk about.
Yeah.
One thing I will say is, I think this might open a lot of people's eyes as far as job hunting goes. Because some people are either too picky or not picky enough when they go searching for jobs, and I think they're learning a lot about how to find the shadier businesses, because a lot of shady businesses are taking advantage of what's going on right now, as I've noticed, as you've noticed. So you do want to make sure that you are being at least picky enough for the job that you want, but not so picky that you don't get anything. And that's going to be up to you during your job search if you are searching for a job. And if possible, always find a way to talk to a real human. You know, this was as true before quarantine as it is right now. You can submit your application all you want, but if they give you an email or a number to call it.
Yeah.
Email them. Talk to an actual person. Usually before quarantine, what I would say is if there's a physical location, go there and ask for a manager and just get to know them. Say, hey, by the way, I've applied to work here and I just wanted to see what it's like here and what, ask all sorts of questions, or introduce yourself. At the very least, introduce yourself. Say, I'm applying. So that's one thing to look out for. Always pay attention to those postings so that you know whether or not they have the option to contact someone and actually talk to a human being.
And there are also like job sites too that are posting things that says hire surge, urgently hiring now, even like posting hiring for this or hiring on this date. We're going to be doing like a mass hiring. Look into those and see what your skills are. And you don't want to just jump into something and not know what to do, and just always take a look.
Yeah. Also, one thing to keep in mind, and again, this is something that was true before, this is something that is still true now. If a job listing says that they require you to have a college degree. This is coming from hiring managers that I've spoken to, both that I've been hired through and that I've just managed to talk to over my years of working in the job force and doing charisma coaching. They put that in there as a deterrent. They don't put it in there because they necessarily always need for you to have a college degree. What they do need is someone who is serious about the job and serious about the work that you would be doing. So they put that in there because only the people who think or believe that they are skilled enough or that this is definitely a job that they want, only those people will apply. So when you see that, it doesn't mean that you need that college degree. It means that you have to be serious about it. You have to know what you're getting yourself into because they might still contact you. And that shouldn't deter you from going for that position. If you really want that job, apply for it anyway. Make sure you have a good cover letter. I'd give advice on cover letters, but I'm still kind of working those out myself, if I'm being honest. King Style says, you should be the professor from Futurama. P.S. Good news, everyone! But yeah, so that's just kind of my tips on when you're going through like Indeed, Monster, Simply Hired, stuff like that. Yeah, God, there was one other one.
And I got good news too.
Oh, yeah.
I will be starting my podcast on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Yes. I have me and my best friend of over 15 years. We're going to be starting our podcast at 7 on Discord and through YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll even mention that a little bit. So it's just me and my best friend. We kind of talk about fandoms, talk about music, just life, our personal life, what we've experienced. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about, there'll be some girl talk too. Mm-hmm. Just, basic stuff. But
I'll probably be out in the living room playing video games at that point.
You'll be
working possibly.
Yeah, you'll be playing Final Fantasy VII, the remaster.
Also, I do know that Boba Bun has been streaming Final Fantasy VII. I have not been able to tune into her streams yet, so if y'all were on her stream earlier on tonight, please let me know how she's doing, because I've just been playing it on my own, and I don't want to watch her if she's ahead of me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I should be getting back into my video game streaming soon. I'm trying to take a halt right now because I want to get more equipment and do some more things. But I think the next one I'm going to do, the biggest one is Cyberpunk in September. That's like, I'm not going to put it off for the whole year, but Cyberpunk, it was going to be The Last of Us 2 that I was going to do, but unfortunately, Naughty Dog had to cancel it entirely, and I'm really upset about it.
I am too, because I really liked The Last of Us 1.
Yeah, the storyline, I love it.
Yeah.
It challenged me a lot for a while. Mm-hmm. And I'm playing through right now Far Cry 4. Because I'm very obsessed with Far Cry, especially with 5. I am obsessed with it. Or as Josh would say, I'm a beast at it because he just watches me playing. He's like, "Wow, that's cool."
Yeah, there is a lot of unliving going on. She just walks into a place and just unlives everyone.
Yeah, just open fire.
Okay, now I see this place. Could it be more on fire?
Well, like with some of it tells you to go in quietly. Mm-hmm. I just go in guns blazing. I'm just like, oh no, we're just gonna knock everything out, and then like my little meter goes off, and then more people are coming, and I'm like, oh no.
Well, and then you saw me playing Assassin's Creed, and you're like, oh, you are good at the sneaky sneak.
Yeah, you're really good at that. See what other games? Oh,
Livent.
There's some other games we've been playing. God, what else have we been playing? The Sims.
The
Sims 4. I'm obsessed with The Sims. I can be on there for 8 hours a day. Like every summer when I grew up, I was constantly on my computer 8 to 12 hours for the whole summer. I grew up as an only child, so I didn't have much friends. And I'm very introverted, so I was fine playing The Sims all day and not talking to anybody. I was good. I was good.
But yeah, I think I want to just open up the floor again, see if anyone has any questions so far, any questions you might have that we might be able to answer, because we are about 45 minutes in.
Yeah, and let us know how you guys are doing throughout all of this.
Yeah, I mean, I know we only have 4 viewers, but we love you guys.
Yeah, what's happening? What's new?
Not you. You know who I'm pointing to. Don't love you. Okay, I do. I'm sorry. That was mean. Important question. Yes, Colin. This ought to be good. Yes, you will very quickly see why he's my best friend. Oh, he must be typing a lot. Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, my God.
Why don't snakes wear vests? Must know.
I'm sorry. It's our favorite joke. So why don't snakes wear vests? Well, Colin, that would be because they do not have arms.
Well, they wear little sweaters. Have you not seen the TikToks and the YouTube videos on
I've seen their little sweaters.
Little danger noodles in their sweaters and hats?
Yeah, but they can't wear vests because they don't have arms.
They can wear a little vest. They can have vests and little clips.
Mr. Hoodie, yes, another important question. Actually, I don't know if you're just saying that question was in fact important, or if you have an important question of your own. Or if you're going to be like Bilbo Baggins and say all of them at once, I suppose.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, mayonnaise is not an instrument. What about instruments of imminent destruction?
That's good. That's really good.
Also, yes, humor. Ooh, that's what I forgot to say. Okay. Calm down, Josh, and tell them the thing.
Breathe.
Okay, so there's something, this is going to be a really fancy term, and then I'm going to tell you why the fancy term itself doesn't matter. Thank you for his holy wisdom. So the term is emotional refractory period. Now that sounds complicated. It basically means if you get yourself into a state of mind, your brain will continue to look for ways to stay or increase that state of mind. If you are depressed, your brain will just be on autopilot to find depressing things. If you are happy, your brain will be on autopilot to find things to make you smile. So that, and same with angry, sad, anxious, stressed, all of that. Your brain will just go on autopilot and find more things to stay in that state because your body is lazy. I don't know if you know this, but everyone has a lazy brain. So what does that mean? Find something you like doing. Find something you enjoy. Especially find something that'll make you laugh. Once you found something that made you laugh, watch it or do it and laugh. And then find something else that'll help you smile. Find something else that'll help you laugh again. And find ways of putting yourself into the, again, emotional refractory period of joy, happiness, laughter, things like that. And then it'll just be easier next time you want to be happy.
What makes you smile? And don't say me.
Damn it.
Like, what makes you, like, truly happy? And again, don't say me. Because we already know that that's part of it. But
yeah. I would say really, really bad jokes. Like, the worse the joke, the better.
Okay. Yeah, I try to make, Josh laugh and smile. Because I can tell he gets anxious in the store or just, out in social.
And to be fair, settings. that is my fault because I have not been doing my state control stuff, and I've been slouching a lot.
Well, it happens. Yeah. And it happens with, with all of us. I usually dance. I do a little dance. I just dance around, trying to embarrass him in public. And I tend to laugh. Apparently, one of my really hard laughs tends to make him laugh so hard he cries, and it's
That's true.
It's a beautiful thing.
I don't know why it makes me laugh so much, but it does.
He gets red in the face. It's good. But yeah, what else makes you like happy?
Well, when I do like my video editing, visual effects, and stuff like that, that definitely makes me happy.
Cats.
Yes.
Cats.
Kitty cats.
Yep. Animals in general.
Yeah. Animals are here to help with helping and goodness.
Yeah.
Hooray!
And what makes me happy is just music. Music drowns out a lot of things. Like sensory and like sensory play too. Like slimes or like Play-Doh, just anything I can get my hands on. Crafting. I love crafting. I like painting. I love video games. And recently, I'm going to go back, signed up for school.
Yeah.
Going to go back to school in the fall.
Is visualizing good things help with emotional refractory period? Sorry, I think I misspelled it.
I think so.
It does. What I would say is just thinking about good things may not put you into that emotional refractory period, but it will definitely work with it.
And I do that too, King.
Yeah.
A lot of times if I'm anxious, if I'm depressed, I kind of isolate myself a little bit and I just visualize things that make me happy, or things like thinking of rain falling, or just any like images in my mind that I can think of. It helps me just get undistracted.
Yeah. And any way that you can get your body involved, which is why I really push for laughter, because that's the easiest way to get your body involved. Watch funny videos, because the more you physically get involved with the thing that makes you happy or puts you in a good state of mind, the more effective it will be. Because we are very it's just one of those things. Does your mind affect your body? Does your body affect your mind? It's both. Both are always going on. You've heard the phrase "as above, so below." What happens in the mind affects the body. What happens in the body affects the mind. And these things are really important. So if you only have the ability to sit there and think of good things, that's a really good place to start. If there's something you can do, something like if it's writing, if it's drawing, if it's, card tricks, if it's playing video games, just get your body involved some way, and it really helps it just that much more,
Yeah. And even, podcasting. That's what's been helping me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to do this more, but currently the Social Otaku is just on, whatever our schedule's like, and whatever we have time for, we'll do. Even today we said we'd do it at 9 and then ended up having to do it a little bit later, but we're still going. We still got viewers, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, so I am a little bit tired, I will say, so I do kind of want to wrap this up soon. Was there anything else we wanted to talk about before we do the end screen?
I think some important things. Stay 6 feet apart. Stay inside. I know it's hard. Stay inside when you can. Go outside, but be safe about it. Wash your hands.
Wash them hands.
Wash your hands. Eat your vegetables. Stay in school.
Yeah. Stay in school, kids. School is canceled. Yeah. Okay.
In certain places it's canceled, but do your homework.
Yep. A lot of online schools are doing. That's another thing. If you want to learn new skills, iTunes University, a few channels on YouTube, they have free lectures on there, so you can always go. I've actually been going through a behavioral science or a behavioral biology course from, I think it's SCU? I can't remember. Light bulbs, the only human necessity. Clearly.
You can start a rave with them.
Yeah. You can eat them if you've gone through blockhead training. If you have not practiced as a blockhead, just please don't try it. And it's not good for you.
They give you ideas. Ding!
So yeah, just one last call for questions. If you have any more questions.
Oh, one more thing. Reach out to people.
Yes.
You know, if you see someone who's struggling through social media, even like one of your friends, if you see anything, say something, reach out, because it can also help you in the end too.
Yeah.
It distracts them and it distracts you from everything that's going on.
Was laughing for a long time good? Yes.
Yes, it is.
The only point where laughter is harmful is if you literally laugh so much you start losing oxygen to your brain.
Or you're just not breathing.
Right, and you will notice that very quickly. If you laugh so much you're dizzy or you're out of breath, just stop for a little bit and then keep going. Like, laughter has... Like, unless you have a condition where... Like, if you've seen the movie Joker, if you're old enough to have seen... to have been able to go to theaters to see an R-rated movie this past year, you know, there are some people who laugh uncontrollably for no reason. That's where it becomes a bit of a problem. But just laughing for a long time, that's good. That's great. Do it. Find more ways to do it. Laughter, you know, you've heard it. You know, laughter is the best medicine. Certainly not the best, in my opinion, but it's a good one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, thank you, everyone, for dropping by. The subscribe screen that I normally put up at this time is not working properly right now, so us on DLive. Join our Discord if you haven't already, and don't forget, we will be having a very special episode of World War Weeb next Friday. More details coming to you next week. And it will be back to its old time slot, so it will be 8 p.m. Central Time, and that's 9 p.m. Eastern, on Friday evenings.
And if you have Facebook, you can reach us at facebook.com/the Social Otaku, or it's at facebook.com/groups/the Social Otaku.
Yeah. Glad I could join in. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you so much, Mr. Hoodie. It's been really nice. I did notice that you joined our Discord server, so I hope you enjoy your stay here. And one last thing, did want to remind everyone that if you want any kind of like weight loss supplements, protein powder, creatine, energy drinks, their energy drinks are honestly really good. From what I've seen, I haven't tasted them yet, but they do look pretty good from the chemical point of view. Just check out Rep Sports. They are sponsoring us. They do have some of the best stuff I've seen on the health market recently. And you can use code JoshinTheShell at repsports.com for 15% off. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great night.